Hello, I'm Kelsey, a personal lines underwriter here at West Bend. Today I'm going to talk about one of the many unique features of the West Bend policy, rented vehicles. Does my policy provide coverage for a rented vehicle? This is one of the most commonly asked questions about rental vehicles, especially around spring break when people are going on vacation and renting a car. Our policy provides coverage for borrowed or rented vehicles for personal use, including motorhomes, U-Haul trucks, and trucks or vans without weight restrictions, under the auto liability portion of the policy. Yes, that's correct, under the liability portion of the policy, which is very different from other carriers. The full explanation of policy coverage is found within the Personal Auto Coverage form. The form states, we do not provide liability coverage for any insured for property damage to property rented to, used by, or in the care of the insured. Except this exclusion A3 does not apply to property damage to a residence, private garage, borrowed or rented vehicle. Because coverage is provided under the auto liability portion for a borrowed or rented vehicle, meaning it is not furnished for regular use, no deductible applies to this coverage. Coverage is subject to the property damage liability carried on the covered auto, as shown on the policy's declaration page. So this means there isn't a need to carry full coverage on a car to also have coverage on a rental vehicle. Why? Because coverage falls under the auto liability portion. If the policyholder has a private passenger-type vehicle on the policy with liability, the property damage liability extends to borrowed or rented vehicles. Now it's important to be mindful of what is being rented because there is a limit. Your next question might be, who is covered while driving a rented vehicle? Any driver considered an insured under the policy is covered. On the coverage form it reads, you or any family member. What about where the vehicle is covered? The coverage territory follows the same geography as listed on the auto coverage form. It includes the United States, its territories or possessions, Puerto Rico, and Canada. Did you know loss of use is included under the definition of property damage? Claims may push back when it comes to loss of use because many times the rental company has plenty of cars in their lot, but there is coverage for this. Most people don't read the fine print on their contract they're signing when renting a car. Some of the language reads like this. If the car is damaged, the renter will pay the estimated repair cost, or if they determine to sell the car in its damaged condition, the renter pays the difference between the car's retail fair market value prior to damage and the sale proceeds. Although West Bend's policy language for a diminution of value does not fit the definition of property damage, our claims department will do a thorough investigation. They'll examine the amount claimed by the rental company and make an effort to reach a settlement. West Bend handles the cost of defense if needed and pays the settlement costs within policy limits. We have so many unique features in our policy, but I want to share one more with you. Under homeowners, there's coverage for property damage and liability for non-owned recreational vehicles and watercraft that sustain damage of which the policyholder will be liable. This information is found under the home liability section. Coverage is subject to the home liability limit and no deductible applies. So when a policyholder asks if they have coverage while renting a pontoon boat during vacation, you can tell them their West Bend policy has got them covered. What a great unique feature to have. Thank you for your time today, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation.